Hello everybody here, Balzac here once again. So, lowly worms, I shall crush you beneath my heels. Attack soldiers of Runefoss. Lord Cain, Lord Darkstar commands you to return to Runefoss immediately. Tell him I'm on my way. Yes, sir. A shame I can't stay to watch you meet your doom. My troops can't handle the likes of you. So, after my impromptu narration, because I am bored, and this is... well, we're getting about the regular length of battles now, you know, a little bit longer, but this is about the regular length. So, I'm showing you the battlefield right now. This is Alterone. If you remember, we walked all over this place, so you should be pretty familiar with how the battlefield is going to be laid out. We have two new enemy types here. We have the Dark Mage and the Sniper. This is going to be your introduction to long-range enemy units. I am going to explain later on the battlefield how you should how you should basically go about tackling these new enemy types. But right now, let's just talk about the general strategy. You're basically going to be wanting to eliminate all the units, so pretty much trudge forward, be careful, eliminate them as they come. Normally, when it comes to enemy units, you pretty much figure out which enemies have priority over like which ones you kill first. But pretty much, since you're going to be kind of killing them in a certain order anyway, it really does not matter. The only time where it's really going to matter which enemies go after first is going to be near the end of the battle, and I'm going to be tackling that then. Like I said, move forward, go across the bridge, attack the enemies up in that huge general area, go across the last bridge, and then circle around and kill the enemies that way. In my opinion, after playing this battle so many times, I've done it several different ways, that is the most efficient way to do it. A second way you can do it is, this is one of the few battles where you can actually split up your troops. There are advantages and disadvantages to that. Some battles I might actually split up my units in a few battles in this game. However, this one, after having done it a couple times, I do not recommend splitting up your unit in this battle. The main reason is, number one, it really doesn't help much at all. I think that just keeping your unit together and marching forward is the most efficient way to beat this battle. Because what's going to happen is that second unit is going to be caught up fighting those Dark Dwarves, and that might not help you as much as you think. So just leave the Dark Dwarves to last. You're going to get to them anyway. You're going to circle around to it. You kind of want to keep your force together. Now, the reasons why people will normally split up their troops is, you know, it can be a little bit more efficient. You have one group doing one thing and another group doing another. I've gone through all the different battles you can split up your troops. There's no I've just found that some there's adequate reasoning to, and for other battles there's really no reason to split up your troops. The only reason to split up, and for this particular battle, would be a divide and conquer situation. Basically, everybody meets up and finishes off the long range fighters. However, that normally does not happen, and it's probably not any quicker. The disadvantages are that with as small as your group is, even though you're pretty much you're almost towards your maximum size at this point. I think let me think about it. I think you're about 2 characters away from your max force size at this point, your max party size. There really is no adequate reason to split your force in half just so you can hypothetically beat the battle quicker. It does not work. And what happens is it'll put one of your halves at a disadvantage. So, best idea is to keep your force together and march forward. It makes the battle a lot easier, and you do not have to worry about casualties as much. So, yeah, there's not really any distinct advantage for splitting your force up in this battle. I'll be pointing out the battles you can split up your force, because some of these battles coming up, it actually does make it easier. And it makes sense. Shut up, dog. Okay. So, that's that. Anyway, I'm going to be going into tactics for crossing bridges later because I was talking over that, and it's going to make a lot more sense when we get to the longer bridge anyway. Let's see. Right now, we're coming across some giant bats. They're not much of a problem. You know, you should pretty much know what to do, what enemies to take care of first anyway. I mean, all the giant bats are going to be flying over to your location, so you're going to be eliminating them all first anyway. And 2 Rune Knights are going to be coming down. Now, at this point in the battle, Rune Knights are not a problem. You should have no problems taking care of Rune Knights. Do not be afraid of them. Just treat them as you would any normal enemies, as you would have the Dark Dwarves after the first battle or so. They are a piece of cake. Now, why am I standing here for a while? And I am standing here for a few seconds. Is I'm trying to make up my mind exactly what to do. And what do I decide to do? Well, like I said, since the Rune Knights are not that big a deal, I'm going to go take on the Rune Knights. I was just wondering whether it was a good idea to put my character in that situation. Ultimately, yes. Because what's going to happen is I have a lot of characters to back me up. I have, what is it, like 6? Yeah, I think about 6 close-range fires at this point. There's no reason why I should not be using all my close-quarter combatants to the best of their ability. Long-range fighters are a little bit more at a premium, however, I should be fine. This battle, like I said, it's long. There are reasons why it's long. There's reasons why it besides just the overall scope of the battlefield is huge. There is like one other reason why this battle could take a little bit longer. But really, it's not a hard battle. This actually should be a gimme after Battle 3. Sorry. So, anyway, one of the things that you should have noticed, I'm not sure whether I'm doing it now with Ken or not. Ken should be leveling up soon. But before we get onto that, here's one thing I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about it a little bit earlier, but let's talk about it right now. In this battle, this is going to be a tactical decision that will be up to you. How often and when you should have Teo use Blaze. At this point, Teo should have Blaze level 2, which is enemy multi-targeter, which would be very helpful and very beneficial near the end of this match. Okay? So, here's what you have to decide. Should you keep Teo back and save Blaze level 2 until the very end of the battle, and use it when you can there, and really make the end easier? Or should you just use Blaze at your own discretion? Me, personally, I use Blaze at my own discretion. Is it the best strategy? Maybe, maybe not. It probably would be more useful at the end. However, I figure I'd get my licks in where I can. As long as I follow my own little rules, I should be fine. That is my own personal judgment. Now, like I said, the Rune Knights are a little bit easier. Unfortunately, this one unleashed a stunning attack on me. Normally they don't hit that hard at this point. Now, Ken has been kind of weak, which has been surprising in this playthrough. Normally he is up to level 5 at this point. But as you saw, he made a huge leap. He gained 7 HP points. 7 HP when he leveled up this time. So he went from 10 to 17. I think I've mentioned this before. Ken should be the one leveling up the most at this point. Why he isn't in my playthrough, I have no clue. Essentially, his early levels, how he levels up is his HP skyrockets. He gets a huge amount of HP. Eventually, I think it's like level 5 or something, he ends up getting 22 HP. So he eventually becomes a tank. Not so much in the damage he can deal, which can be substantial. It's about on par with everybody else. But he can actually take the hits. And you're going to be seeing that about now. He's not going to be getting up where he should be, but it's still it's still impressive, and you can see the HP, the health jumps that he's going to be making. Like I said, normally Kin is the one that's advanced, that is gaining a lot of levels at this point. This is just a strange LP. Now, I considered maybe not taking out the giant bat, but after what happened in the last battle, I decided there's no more just leaving an enemy with 1 HP open. If I can take him out before I can get get a magic user to hit him, then take him out. Leaving them to wait is dangerous. So like I said in the last battle, you're not going to seeing me just leaving a 1 HP enemy open anymore. That's a bad move in general. I should not have been making that. So, okay, other things to talk about. Looking at my nice little list. Yes, I have a nice little list. As I said last time, it's great. So we're just cleaning up the giant bats here. Not much to worry about. Like I said, this is a very easy battle. Shouldn't give you much problems. The most problematic area is at the end, and I'll just go into depth about that when we cross the bridge. So I'm getting all my characters ready to march forward. Now, as I said, here is a conundrum with the giant bat. He is placed in a position where you can only put your your party members in certain locations. Because if you put a close range fighter above him, well, let's just say that he would be in range. How you want to go about fighting long range enemy types? Keep as far out of their range as you possibly can. So that means at this point in the battle where the giant bat is placed, you do not want to put somebody above him, because they'd be right across the river from either the sniper or the dark mage. And trust me, they will relish a chance to strike at one of your members. So, if you can help it at all, keep your force members away. Do not get them in range of a long range fighter unless you're getting ready, unless it's absolutely necessary and you're pretty much getting ready to strike yourself. If you're moving up to strike, then by all means, you're probably going to be a little bit in range. But at this point in the battle, when we're nowhere close to them, do not have them be direct. Do not have any of your fighters lined up directly across from the river, because the long-range fighters, the snipers or the dark mages, will take advantage of it. So, long-range fighters. First rule: keep your distance. Whenever you're fighting against an enemy type that is long range, you want to be using close quarter combat and be right up in their face. Because if you're right up in their face, they are not going to be using their attacks on you. The exception to the rule would be the Dark Mage, but that's because the Dark Mages are magic users. He's a magic user. So, but still, keep in mind, same general rule applies. Now, like I said, the giant bat presents a conundrum, because he's placed in such a way that we can only have the placement we have right now without endangering any of our fighters. And the problem is, we're having a hard time hitting him. So I'm preparing the rest of my force to move on while I try to kill this stupid thing. And I think this might do it. Let's see. Yep, that's it. And no, oh yes, Hans is leveling up. I would suspect that Hans will be ready to be promoted in the next chapter, and there'll be more on that when we actually get to the subject of promotion. I'll show you what that is all about. Okay, so normally when you're moving forward, especially when there's enemies close by, you want to move up a little slowly. However, you may want to take a little bit of an exception with these Rune Knights, because what I have found is these 2 Rune Knights will not leave the bridge at all costs. Now, there may be exceptions. Every once in a while, they might surprise you, but for the most part, they're not moving from their position. So pretty much, take your time, line your party up, and strike. So once I have everybody ready to go, I'm actually going to be moving forward. Like I said, this battle, Rune Knights do not pose a problem at all. In fact, I'm trying to think. this might be one of the last battles where we actually see Rune Knights. I may be mistaken, but that may be it. Yeah, see, this, when it comes to Blaze level 2, a lot of people would probably be saying you made a mistake using the second level Blaze on the Rune Knights instead of waiting to use it on the formation at the end of the battle. Because now I cannot use Blaze level 2 again. It costs 5 HP. I'll be able to use Blaze level 1 twice, but not Blaze level 2 at all. However, what do I care? I hit multiple targets, and, you know, I'm going to be clearing out this bridge. Doesn't really bother me at all. So we're going to be kind of finished. We're going to kind of be clearing out this area, and we're going to be crossing the bridge. General way, there are strategies. There are ways to actually cross bridges. How I'm going to do it in this map is I'm just going to get my characters across the bridge as quickly as possible, because I play this enough to know that there is no harm, no foul. However, in other, and especially with this bridge is not much of a bottleneck. In later areas, you will have bridges, you will have stairways that will be more bottleneck areas. And so you either can do what you normally do and try to get characters across as quickly as possible, or give certain characters priority, which is probably what I'll be doing in future battles. In that case, normally I'll let close range fighters go across first, establish a kind of perimeter, then long range, and then healers dead last. Normally, all my healing characters will go across after everybody else is already over. This normally makes the battle a little bit, parts of the battle a little bit longer, because it takes a little bit longer to get characters over. However, it can be the safest because you're ready for any enemies that might attack. And trust me, later on, there will be enemies waiting for you on the other side of these bottleneck areas. Can't be helped. But for this, I'm trying to hurry. I'm trying to get the battle finished as quickly as possible. And I know for sure I'm not going to be attacked. So it's just let's just get my characters over as quickly as possible, and I'll sort the mess out later. Now, if you notice down below, the enemies are starting to build up their own formation. They'll make this formation every single time at the end of the battle. You're going to have one Dark Dwarf that will be back there. He's going to be the last enemy that you kill. He's not going to be part of the formation at all. You're going to have 3 Dark Dwarves that kind of make this front line, and then you'll have they'll have the long range fighters, the 2 snipers on either side of the Dark Mage, and the Dark Mage will be in the back, completely protected. This is a smart enemy formation. The enemies do kind of form themselves kind of intelligently. I'm showing right now, and I'm just checking that the Dark Mage does in fact have Blaze level 2. Why is this important? Well, it will affect how I actually go about attacking. Right now, I'm going to be getting my troop together very closely. You know, get it back into regular formation. And then I'm going to be inching them forward slowly, because I'm not sure how far away I should really put them. Number 1, to keep everybody together, and number 2, because of the Dark Mage's range. I think there's an option in Shining Force 2 where you can actually check the range of a spell, and that can help you in your judgment calls. There's no such option when it comes to Shining Force. You pretty much have to remember that spell's effect on your own, if you even have it, and trust that you're not going to be in the line of fire. So I'm going to be moving my party up a little slowly, and this will take a few turns. But by the end, we should be getting down into what a actual formation should look like taking on this fight. Now, of course, first things first, you want to eliminate long range fighters as quickly as possible. So they should be your top priority. However, you have Dark Dwarves blocking the long range fighters, which means you're probably going to be taking out the Dark Dwarves first out of necessity. Your targets, however, like I said, should be the 2 snipers and the Dark Mage. Now, what I'm doing is while I'm aiming for this Dark Dwarf, so I can slip around to take out the archer. Plus, another thing you want to do when you take on mages, because any mages you're going to be fighting at this point will have multi-hit spells. So you want to stagger your troop troops. You do not want your party members right by each other, because then that gives the mage more fodder to hit. It gives him more targets, and that can be awfully appeasing. So you kind of want to stagger it. What happens though is that this lengthens out the rest of the battle, because since you can't go all gung ho and take them on as quickly as possible, and have to be a little bit intelligent, it's going to take a little while. So you have to keep certain members back. That's why I'm keeping the healers back a little bit. That way they are not in the line of fire. It also makes it a little bit more difficult for long-range fighters, because one thing you never want a long-range fighter to do is take on another long-range fighter. It's not a smart move. They're just as likely to get hit. So long-range fighters need to take on close-range fighters, and close-range fighters need to take on long-range fighters. I know it sounds like common sense, but you would be surprised. So now I had made a mistake with where I put Gort. I should have put Gort away so I can get a long-range fighter to attack that Dark Dwarf, but May is in a safe position. She cannot be targeted by the Dark Mage, so I can actually get Hans to attack that Dark Dwarf as well. Basically, the idea, stagger everybody. Because what's going to happen is your main character is going to be the ultimate target. Now, another thing with enemy AI, when it comes to using magic, they're not like me. I like to conserve magic. So if I have a single enemy, I use a single hit spell. True, it costs less MP and it does less damage, but it conserves magic. What do I care? I'm only going to use Blaze level 2 and higher to actually, for certain purposes. Blaze level 2 is a multi-hitter. I will not use it against only one enemy, unless it's the end of the battle. Enemy AI, they could care less. It hits. All they're concerned about is it does more damage. So since it does more damage, it must be worth it. This can be used to your advantage, because they're more likely to burn through their MP if the fight goes longer. And if you can heal your people, more power to you. Especially at this point, you're getting rid of their defense, so you can start going in and hitting close range. Your ultimate target is you want to get rid of these long-range fighters, and you want to get to that mage. When it comes to long-range fighters, mages are top priority. So yes, long-range fighters are your utmost priority, but more than that, the mage is what you want to get to. And unfortunately, the mage is in a very tricky position. So, and at all possible, of course, I'm using Lowe so I can get him up to level 4. And I think he's going to be going to level 3 right about now, which makes me happy. He's not going to be getting, surprise, he's not going to be able to get to level 4 by the end of this battle. So that kind of sucks, but he gets close. And maybe by the time I need it, he might actually be able to get to level 4 and use Detox. So let's start to clear out the last of the Dark Dwarves that are actually blocking our way, because with them out of the way, we can actually start attacking enemies at a much, much more steady clip, where everybody is attacking as much as possible. See, now I can double up on some of the snipers, which will open up the Dark Mages, because you see, with the sniper gone, I can actually get behind the Dark Mage. Now, I guess it's possible with that bridge right by it to actually get by the Dark Mage as well. I've never tried it before. It might be something I might try in a future playthrough. Try that, using that bridge to get behind the enemies. But for the most part, probably would take too long. Now, of course, this Dark Mage is getting some really stunning attacks, because watch this. How is it that 2 of my characters in a row, he knocks them down to 1 HP? Go figure. But you know what? I am going to slip Kin behind and take out this Dark Mage. That way I don't put man in danger. And now we can really start attacking a lot more regularly. There is no reason at this point where we should really be holding back. So everybody, all hands to the plow. Let's get this battle done with. Like I said, mainly this information and the length of the battlefield is why this battle can take so long. You don't want to go into this battle haphazardly. It's very dangerous. Keep your healers back, keep your long range fighters back, and take care of the job. It doesn't take very long. Seriously, it's it's a pretty decent battle. And why in the world I did not move Gort back, I will never know. I probably forgot that he had been knocked to 1 HP, because normally I would have moved him back. However, it really does not matter. I actually got through this battle without losing a single character, so I am happy with this. And at this point, like I said, like you saw, I moved Luke close to May because I knew it did not make a difference. The Dark Mage was done. And I'm actually going to take a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit longer than it should killing this last enemy, because I'm going to give Lowe one more opportunity to get some experience. So first, I'm going to use my last blaze on the Dark Dwarf. It will not kill him, but it will knock him down to 5 HP. Like he normally blaze will do 7 damage. I'm going to use heal one more time, which is all Lowe can use it. Get Lowe a few more experience points. And since we have done that, there is no reason for us to stick around anymore. So let's actually get rid of this Dark Dwarf. Gort, I don't want him to deal with 1 HP. There's no reason to put him into danger at this late in the game. So we're just going to finish it with our main character. And our main character is dangerous Lowe at level 3. However, this experience is enough to bump us up to level 4, which gives us some nice boosts. So anyway, next time we will be clearing out Alterone and talking to the king. Until then, guys, I am Bulbazak, signing out.